Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back at another Q&A version. It's been a really long time, too long actually, but I'm back again. And earlier this day I asked everyone on Instagram to send in their question if they had one. What's up country? And I will be answering the one that I've received, but I will also be picking a few of them who just got sent in later. So it's actually been a long time. Like a lot of stuff has happened in the last couple of weeks. Like I think it has been 4 weeks since I've done this Q&A. Of course, ADE. ADE has been great for me. It was a great week. We did the Lunch and Learn again with artist coaching. And that was great. We had Ollie James as a guest speaker, but we also had 25 guests from all over the world, and we had like a lot of fun, and we learned a lot, and we had great lunch. So good times overall, and met a lot of new people during ADE, so that was fun as well. Let's see, anything you want to do different for ADE next year? Good question. Actually, no. I'm doing the Lunch and Learn again. So if you're coming over next year, make sure to be there because it's gonna be fun again and useful. You should do a live demo live stream. I will try to do it as soon as possible. Do you miss your progressive? No, I don't miss making music anymore. Like I'm focusing on artist coaching now. For the last couple of years, and it has been great, and it's still great, and the business is developing. I'm developing as a person, and I love doing these things online as well to give you guys value, and hopefully so that you can guys build your own artist career, and that would be great. Like I had this guy coming over to me during ADE. He just approached me on the street, and he came to me and said like, hey dude, I wanted to say to you, I've been following you on Instagram. I followed your tips and tricks, and right now I've managed to get 30 million streams on Spotify, which is insane. So then we started talking and how he did it and what he did, and basically he just started, following all the tips and tricks that I've put out, and as it helps, like 30 million streams, that's a lot. Holy shit. So those things are really fun for me, and it's great for me to see that people actually use these things and are able to build their careers from it. So I want to thank you guys for following me for that. So what's your tip for getting the first shows? From Per Lundy. Getting the first shows, like if you're talking about the real first shows, like just approach people and see if you can play somewhere for free. Because you need to get experienced about DJing. You need to get experience behind the decks, with working with a crowd, those kind of things, and you need to get those gigs. So you can do that by just asking if you can play for free. But if we are talking about paid gigs, like gigs outside of your hometown, then it's a different thing, because for those gigs you have to wait. For those gigs you have to wait until those bookers come to you. So you have to release music, you have to put out content, be consistent with it, and do it as much as possible. And when you do that, in the long term, those promoters, those bookers will come to you. So that's 2 strategies, and I hope it's helpful for you. Hello Beb, welcome. Okay, so let's start with a couple of the questions. What happens to the artist after they sign their first track to a big label? Well, that really depends. Actually, nothing really happens with the artist, as in the artist remains to be itself at that time. But the artist may get a boost in his career because the big label boosts his name. Which could result into getting more gigs, which could result in getting a bigger fan base, which could result in getting more fans. So that might happen, but at the same time, also nothing could happen. You know, like there's a lot of guys who release music on Revealed or on Spinnin' or on Hexagon, and their career still didn't take off. So it really depends on what you do as an artist, how you promote that track, how you promote yourself as an artist, and how you market yourself. So of course, having a release on a big label is important and will help you build your career. But at the same time, it's not that they have to do all the work, you have to do the work as well. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. Let's get into the other questions. What's up, everyone tuning into the live stream right now? Welcome. This is a good one. Is a website still important in 2019? Yes and no. As in, yes, you should make sure that you claim your domain name. But at the same time, I wouldn't spend too much time and too much money on building a proper website. I would just go to WordPress or any other one of those companies where you can take a template, create one yourself, and just upload the information people need to know, which most of the time is your bio and your music and a link to your socials. And that's about it. Like, I seriously can't remember that I've been to the official website of an artist, because these days, if people want to look up an artist, they go to their socials. So you should have it, but at the same time, don't spend too much time or money on it. What's up, everyone checking in the live stream? Welcome. I'm just answering some questions here. This one's good. Is it still worth it to invest in Instagram and Facebook? Yes. Why? Because your audience is still located on those platforms. The people that you are trying to reach are still on Instagram. That's the whole reason why you guys are tuning into this live stream right now, because you are on the platform. And your audience is on the platform as well. So you want to reach your audience, either through your music or through your content. And you can reach your audience with your music through Spotify, through Apple Music, and through all those other platforms. But at the same time, you can reach your audience by creating content on platforms like Instagram and Facebook. So yes, you should definitely invest time and maybe even some money on Instagram and Facebook to grow your audience. Let's see. Giving away publishing without an advance. Any thoughts about that? I would not give away my publishing, at least not in the beginning stage of my career. And yeah, like, the advanced part is just a way to get you in my opinion, as in it's a way to convince you of signing, because it feels good to get 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever your advance might be beforehand. So they just use that advance to let you sign the deal. Talking from a beginning standpoint, if you're like a more successful, bigger artist, that's a whole different story. But I'm just assuming that you're a smaller artist getting started with things. If you're getting an offer from a publisher right now and they are willing to give an advance, don't fall for it too quickly. It might be valuable, but really dive into the deal and really see what they are able to offer to your career, because it's not always as valuable as you might think it will. How to make proper music? I make a drop pretty good, but after it I can't complete it. So if I understand that well, you mean that you're really good with making drops, but that's about it. Well, if this is something that you're struggling with, you should develop your skill. So you should develop your skill in maybe perhaps like creating breaks. And with breaks, it might help if you have some musical background. So you know how to read notes, you know how to play the piano, those kind of things. That could really help. So you should look up and see what the thing is that's keeping you from finalizing your tracks. And sometimes that's the whole theory thing, like you're missing the musical part, like the music theory part, and you have to start studying on that. Or you have to develop your skills as a producer. And what could also help if these two things aren't a problem, it could also help to look up someone else that could help you with this problem. Because if you are great at drops and someone else is great with breaks, and you combine those two things, that actually will give you a finalized cool product. So that might help as well. What's up, everyone checking in the live stream? I'm just answering some questions here, so if you have a question, feel free to drop them here in the Q&A section. As a new producer, how to get booked for a gig as a new producer? Well, I've already touched on this previously, but as a new producer, don't focus on gigs too much. I know this is the thing that you want to do, and I know this is the thing that you get a lot of energy from, but at the same time, it's also the thing that's the most hard to get, because you don't have the leverage yet as an artist. You don't have the releases, you don't have the success, you don't have the followers, you don't have the brand that you need to get booked. So focusing on getting booked will probably give you a lot of headache. While at the same time, if you will focus on releasing a lot of music and creating content on social media, that will build your brand. That will create leverage for you as an artist, and then it would be way more. You would be way more interesting for a promoter to book you. So don't focus on bookings too much in the beginning of your career, but first focus on establishing the whole fundament of your career, which is music and content. Let's check. Oh, something's changed. Yep, there I am. Sorry. There we go. Should I release my songs on my own or on smaller labels, or should I wait for bigger labels coming up? Why doesn't my phone stand still? I don't know why. Anyway, sorry. There I am. Should I release my songs on my own or smaller labels, or should I wait for the bigger labels? Well, the thing is, you will become interesting to bigger labels once you've released way more songs. So smaller labels most of the time aren't able to add value to your release, because they can reach as many people as you can by putting time and effort in it. So I would suggest, especially in the beginning of your career, to release as much as possible by yourself. One, you're getting 100% of the income, which you could reinvest into your career. And two, by spending time and money into the promotion plan, you can probably reach more than the label could do for you, like the smaller label. And as soon as a big label comes in and would like to sign a track of you, then it will become interesting, because they have a better promotion plan and a bigger reach and a bigger network than the smaller ones have. So I would start off by releasing tracks by my own first, and kind of skip the smaller labels, because most of them just aren't valuable. Some of them are, but most of them aren't. And wait for the bigger labels to approach you once the time is there. What's up, everyone checking in the live stream on Instagram? I'm live on Facebook as well. I hope you guys are doing really well. I'm just answering some questions here, so feel free to drop your question, and I will go through a few of them. Let's see what's in the comment section. Good question. Can I be a part of your upcoming music video? Well, there isn't going to be an upcoming music video. Learn to master your own music or send it to a mastering engineer? That's a good question, actually. The thing is, mastering is a completely different skill than making music is. So you should ask yourself the question, am I willing to spend the time, a few years actually, to become better in mastering? Or maybe it's better to just spend a small amount of money per track to make sure that it sounds professional, because it's completely different from making music. And aside from the fact that it requires a skill, it also requires a decent studio. So there's multiple things to it. In most cases, I would advise people to just send it to a master engineer, because you will be amazed by the result. And most of the times it's not even that expensive. Like, you can get a track mastered for 40 euros, which is about $45 or something. So it's not that much. It's not like it's hard to pay for. Let's check. Just going to the comments here. Well, a lot of people checking in from Indonesia. What's up, people? Okay, let me just check here. Do you speak a bit German? Yes, I do, a little bit. I speak and I understand it a little bit. Check. Tips on making kick punch through bassline. I'm currently using OTT and a limiter to make that happen, but is there a better way? Just a punch. If you're using Logic, you can try going to the it's actually a Logic plugin. I think it's under the dynamics section. It's called the multiband compressor. Just put it on the kick and don't do anything about it. Just put it on and see what happens. Normally that really puts out the punch in the kick. So if you're using Logic, that might really help. Another way to do it is EQing as well. EQ the kick and sidechain the bass properly. Maybe that helps. Releasing music on my own. I'm releasing music. In releasing music on your own, does it require that you make your own label? No, it doesn't. That's one of the best things about this whole thing right now. If you go to websites like tunecore.com or CD Baby or DistroKit, they will take care of the distribution for you. So you don't need to set up a whole label and arrange the distribution yourself. You can just go to those websites, upload your track, pay around $10 a year, and it's fixed. Like, your track will be on those platforms and you don't have to start a label by yourself. That's one of the easiest and one of the best ways to do it. How to mix the drop perfect. When you speak about promotion, how should I promote my songs and how much money do I need for promotion? Well, the good news is you don't need money. As in, it could be useful, it could help you, but it's not necessarily. Like, if you spend a lot of time on promotion, that could really help as well. And I've seen it happening with clients of mine as well. Like, not everything in life is related to money. Like, if you spend time and energy into something, you could really achieve something just by spending time and energy on it and doing it well. So, how should I promote my song? I actually posted something yesterday about this. It's this stack post on Instagram, on my Instagram page, which has like 4 tips of how to promote your song. Just on the top of my mind, it was getting supported by other DJs, playlists, influencers, and I can't remember the 4th one. But if you go to my Instagram page, the last post you will see is about that, so hopefully that will help you. Let's see. Oh. I saw another question here in the comment section. Oh. What do you like doing in your free time? Well, I actually like gaming. I play Call of Duty. I'm a daddy, so I have a kid, and that takes up a lot of time as well, which I really enjoy. And having time off with friends, like going out for a drink, having dinner, that's like eating and drinking is my hobby. So those are the things that I love to do in my spare time. English. Cool. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining this Q&A again. I know it has been a long time since I've been doing this, but I would like to go live a bit more in the upcoming time. So thanks again for following me on Facebook, but also on Instagram. I really see everyone coming in, and like the numbers have been growing, and I see the engagement growing, which means a lot. So thank you for following me. Thank you for sharing my content, sharing my message, doing whatever you do to help me. And I will be back soon. Have a great day, and bye-bye.